The Senate will decide your fate.
I am the Senate.
Let's talk about Hunson Abadeer. His character is incredibly interesting as well as confusing at times because some things just do not add up. Also, make sure to get a snack because this is gonna take a while. Now, for those of you who do not know, Hunson Abadeer is basically the ruler of the Nightosphere and one of the most powerful entities within the Adventure Time universe. He is the current ruler of the Nightosphere and controls all of the damned souls that inhabit it. He is deathless, immortal, and quite literally all-powerful, at least within his own realm. Now, making a timeline for Hunson Abadeer will prove to be pretty difficult because even though we know definitely more about him than we do about Kokon Tepe and the other primordials we've covered, he's still a little bit of an enigma. That being said, I will give it my best shot. Hunson Abadeer has flat out said that he does not remember his original creation, and considering we can actually see his form within the Sea of Monsters, it's quite possible that he is one of the primordials. However, I do not believe that's actually Hunson Abadeer himself. The reason I mention this is that the only time he's actually able to utilize that form is when he wears the Nightospheric necklace. Now, for those of you who do not know, the Nightospheric necklace or the Nightospheric amulet is basically an artifact that holds all the power of the ruler of the Nightosphere. Anyone who wears it will immediately gain incredible power but be filled with chaotic evil. If Hunson Abadeer is actually the original primordial, why would he create that necklace and actively remove a good portion of his own power? However, let's go ahead and save that for our speculation section. Instead, let's focus on what we know. We also know that he has an incredible disdain for anyone and anything that is considered good. As shown when he ended up learning that Finn was a hero, he immediately tried to consume Finn's soul. Now, on the other hand, he also have an incredible appreciation for anything that would be considered evil, as shown when he met Gunter and immediately complimented him by saying he was the most evil creature that he had ever encountered. This also extends to Peppermint Butler, as the two seem to be on an incredibly good relationship, with them even playing golf as well as just hanging out on separate occasions. Despite the fact that he has stated that he is pure evil, certain individuals who are pretty good aligned have earned his respect as well as full-on love. A good example of this would be Marceline's mother, who we don't entirely know pretty much anything about in terms of her relationship to Hunson Abadeer. However, the way she describes him at certain scenes would make me think that they had a somewhat positive relationship. It should also be noted that he also cares about Marceline a very great deal. The problem is that human emotions are kind of a hard thing for him to comprehend, which makes sense considering he spends most of his time within the Nightosphere, which is pretty much the Adventure Time equivalent to hell. In terms of what he actually wants, we don't know. He doesn't really seem like someone who's particularly ambitious, and the only thing that he really follows is leading the Nightosphere, controlling the chaos, and pretty much consuming souls on his day-to-day. He does have leisurely activities. Like I said, he plays golf as well as hanging out with his daughter when he can actually get the chance, but aside from that, we really just don't know what he does in his free time. However, thankfully, due to a couple of good episodes, we do actually know what he does while he's on the job. Not only does he have complete dominion over every single demon within the Nightosphere, but he also oversees every single soul that comes to the Nightosphere and is directly responsible for any punishment that were to be laid out to them. He pretty much treats everyone there with extreme cruelty, and any punishment he dishes out tends to be absolutely horrifying. A good example of this was when he made a demon constantly throw up bananas for all of eternity. And if you're not entirely versed in Adventure Time, bananas for demons is literal crap. He also takes great pleasure in just completely eradicating the demons at any moment of time. Anyone who were to try to rush or skip in line, he immediately tends to disintegrate them. Now, in terms of power, he's got buttloads. Considering he's literally the ruler of his own realm, you'd expect him to be incredibly powerful, and he is. He has pretty much every dark magic ability that you can go. He has incredible regenerative abilities, can shapeshift, can manipulate his body in pretty much any way he sees fit, can take on the abilities of other creatures by devouring their souls. He can grow the size of mountains, can disintegrate people on a whim, has the ability to shapeshift people's bodies in any way he sees fit, while being immune to the exact same magics himself. The guy with just a small ounce of his power was able to make the Night Sword, which is literally one of the most powerful swords within the Adventure Time franchise. Now, the only question remains is exactly who is Hunson Abadeer. His origin is obviously muddled because, as I mentioned before, his original form can be seen in the Sea of Monsters, but despite that, that particular primordial is within the Amulet of the Nightosphere. He has never shown the ability without the amulet, and I'm not entirely sure whether or not he is the original primordial or if the primordial was transformed into the amulet and is handed down like a family heirloom. Normally, I would go into a speculation section, however, there's really no evidence or anything that I can use to speculate on anything. He's a demon, but we have no idea idea where demons come from. We have no idea what was the original demon created from. We don't know anything about the Nightosphere. There's so little details here that I honestly can't make up anything. The only thing that I can actually think of is the fact that the Nightosphere is completely sustained by chaos. This technically would give him a bit of a connection to gold, but aside from that, that's pretty much all we have to lead on. I might do a part 2 on this particular video because I feel as though there is something that I am missing that would actually tie his entire backstory and everything together. But in the meantime, this is all the information I have for this episode. That being said, be sure to like, subscribe, go over to my other social media platforms. If you have a good idea for a video, put it in the comments and I'll put it in the polls. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.